everybody! Happy belated Christmas and Happy New Year. Almost New Year, I guess I should say. I just got a new computer, but as you can see, it's really not any better quality as far as the webcam is concerned than my last one, so I apologize for that. I have gotten quite a few emails and some comments, people asking me, what I've been up to and how I've sort of overcome my anxiety. And to be quite honest, I wish I could say that there was some kind of thing in particular that I did to get to where I am today, but honestly a lot of it is just after I had my surgery, had my gallbladder removed, had some of my hernia problems taken care of. A lot of the anxiety just went away on its own, I think, because I finally had some kind of tangible answer as to what was going on. And because I felt better physically, a lot of my anxiety just went to the wayside. But I always do have it in the back of my mind no matter what's happening, especially when I first got my job last year. I was worried because I'd been off of work for about a year. After I went back to work, I was worried, constantly about the anxiety, and I still worry about it every day, and I know it's something that I'm never going to be completely free of. I'm not sure about you guys, but living in Minnesota, I know a lot of people will joke about seasonal affective disorder and say it's not really a real thing, but living here, it totally is. We barely see sunshine from October to May, to be quite honest, and it really wears on you after a while. So the beginning of this month was really tough for me, and I kind of went back to, even though it's stupid, when my anxiety all came on really bad the last time was 3 years ago, and it was on Christmas. And so I kind of associate this time of year with that, even though I know it has nothing to do with, why my anxiety came on when it did. But not having any daylight for most of the winter really kind of stinks. So I do try to change my mindset a little bit and realize that, hey, just because something bad happened this time a few years ago doesn't mean it's going to happen again this year. But I feel like I'm just rambling and I don't even know where I was going with that, so I apologize. But I guess as for what I've been doing, last March, so March of 2014, almost a year now, I became the HR manager for a couple of factories. And life has been going great in terms of work. And as far as getting over the anxiety and the depression, it's really just been a matter of getting up out of bed every day and forcing myself to do things. I think that the very worst thing that anybody can do when they have anxiety or depression is to give into it and let it consume them like that. I know it's the very first thing you want to do. It's like, I've never done drugs, but I imagine it's probably, somebody who's struggling with addiction. They want to go back to the cocaine or to the alcohol, whatever it is. Well, when I'm anxious or when I'm depressed, I want to go hit my pillow and I just want to stay in bed. And I think that's the absolute worst thing I can do because it just turns into this vicious cycle. So for me, having a full-time job, it's not even an option for me. I have to have one. But if I didn't, I think it still would be a good thing because, there's some weekends where I don't do a whole lot or I may not feel well. And if I lay down in my bed for a weekend, I could just prolong it for months. And that's basically what I did when I had anxiety. But knowing that I have to get up Monday morning and go back to work, it gives me something, it holds me accountable. And Monday morning might not be easy. Tuesday and Wednesday morning aren't easy. But typically by the end of the week, beginning of the next week, I'm back into a normal routine. And no matter what was bothering me over the weekend, or if I was anxious, or if I was depressed, or if I was upset about something, whatever the issue may be, it's generally gone by the following week and I'm back to normal, whatever normal is, I guess. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is just not giving into the wanting to sit around and lay around in bed watching TV. For other people, it could be, they're not leaving their places. I think you really just have to stick with a routine and have some kind of structure. Like for me, Mondays suck. They absolutely suck. I hate getting up. I hate, whatever, especially when I've been depressed. But typically what I try to do is get through Monday, and then Tuesday rolls around, I go to work, and I might add something on top of that, like, okay, tonight I'm going to go get groceries, and then Wednesday night I'm going to go out with friends, or whatever. So just having some kind of structure and accountability, and making sure that you're getting up every day and you're doing the things that you need to do, the normal, productive, everyday life things that everybody around you is doing. You need to do them too. So I've been doing that, and actually this time last year I made a laundry list of kind of New Year's resolutions that I had hoped to accomplish or achieve for through 2014. And I think there are probably 20 or so things on my list, and as far as accomplishing them, I think I've done over half of them, so I guess I've done okay. But one of the things was to try new things, and that's really actually been a great help, both for me personally, in trying to find hobbies and things to occupy my time. I'm single, I'm 33, I don't have a husband, I don't have any kids, so I have a lot more time on my hands than the average person my age, and sometimes I think people are probably envious of that, but for me personally, sometimes it's a lot of a void to fill. So I've been trying different things. I've taken some painting classes. We have this place about a half hour from where I live. It's called Cheers Pablo, where they have an instructor who will teach you how to paint a canvas that night, and you can order wine or food or whatever. So I've done that with some friends a few times. I've planned things with friends. That's been a really big and important thing too. When my anxiety or depression gets really bad, I tend to just kind of shut off. I seclude myself from the world, and it's not good. I think just having people to communicate with, and even if you're not in a good mood, just talking and whatever, getting your frustrations out, or just being social helps. It helps me anyway. So just planning things with friends. And, it doesn't have to be lengthy, whether it's just meeting for dinner after work or going and getting coffee. And I know a lot of people that have anxiety probably have friends that don't really relate to what you're going through, and may have lost friends through this whole ordeal, Even if you just have one or two good friends that you can do whatever with. Or even, if you're not at the point where you can go out and do things, I totally understand that, just making a point to talk on the phone, or have a Skype session or whatever. But just having people, I think, in your life really is important. So that's one of the things I've been doing. I've typically been going out with friends probably about twice a week, each week. And then one of the other things was that I wanted to start volunteering. So I thought a lot about what I wanted to do, and I began volunteering at our local nursing home at the beginning of December, and so that's something that I look forward to doing throughout 2015. But one of the biggest things I think for helping me has been, as much as my own life seems to suck at times, you always have to remember there's other people out there who are going through so much more than you are. And so one of the things that I like to do is try to help other people in some way, shape, or form. And so what I decided to do, typically during the holiday season, I'll do like an adopt a family program or something like that. But this year I decided to start a campaign. I started a little fundraiser on GoFundMe for the local nursing home. And my goal was to try to raise $25 per resident so that each of them could get a Christmas gift. And so that kept me busy. I started that at the beginning of October, and was shopping and all the stuff that went with it, really from probably mid-November up until about a week ago. I was really busy with that. So that was something that, gave me something to do, but also gave me a good sense of accomplishment when I got done, because I felt like I did actually do something nice for other people. So that's really helped. And this past summer I went through some pretty bad depression. And looking back, I can't even tell you why or what started it or what it was all about. But I think for the first time in my life, I really felt like I had control over the situation. It sounds kind of cheesy to say that I just woke up one day and changed my mindset, but that's really what I did. I just decided, I don't want to be crabby anymore. I don't want to be upset. So I just, you know, kind of changed my attitude. And people have always said something to the effect of, you know, life isn't about the circumstances or situations, it's about how you react to them. And, you know, as much as we probably hate to hear it, that is true. So I just kind of, you know, that's when I decided I wanted to do things for other people. I wanted to be happier, so I just, instead of being pissed off grump, you know, I try to be happy, even if it's fake. You know, eventually, if you do it enough, it kind of becomes real, a little more sincere. So I've tried to start out each day with a pretty good attitude, and, you know, even if I have a bad day or things go wrong in my life, what I've really been thinking about is the fact that, one, tomorrow's a new day, but two, there are so many people out there going through so many worse things than what I am. You know, I have some people in my family right now that are struggling with cancer, and friends and family members that have lost loved ones, and, you know, really, what do I, on a daily basis, have to be all that upset about? So I just try to change my mindset, and that helps a little bit. And I think I will go on to make my resolution list for 2015. I'd also be interested in hearing what some of your guys' resolutions are if you make them. And, you know, maybe what some of yours were this past year, and how successful you've been at them, and what you've done, I guess, to tackle them. But for me, that's kind of been how I've been dealing with my anxiety and my depression, is just kind of making goals and checking them off as I go along. And I actually have my list of goals for this past year posted by my refrigerator, so I see it pretty much every day, and it stares me in the face. And, you know, it does feel like a good sense of accomplishment to look at that list and think, hey, I've probably checked off, you know, 3/4 of the thing on this list. So compared to where I was a year or two ago, that's huge. So I hope that you all are doing well. You know, I have gotten some emails and some comments, and if you are interested in reaching out to me, I do respond. My email address is cgpd4376@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can leave comments in the comment section, and I'll try to get back to everybody. I hope that you all have happy holidays, what's left of them, I guess, and that 2015 is a great year. Bye.